Kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Escondido in California, where it has been a totally awesome day today. It's been a very super fantastic sparkling Sunday. So today was very cool, but and some wind, and I'm on a little earlier this evening because I need to get Zephy out for her walk, and then we're going to come back, snuggle up, and watch a Christmas movie. What we're going to watch, who knows? But yesterday we got to watch 3 movies last night, and we've already watched 1 today, so there's 4 movie reviews to do for Christmas. But first of all, Zephy and her training. I am so proud of Zephy. She has been doing an amazing job at training. Today we got our free 30-minute training session with the trainer, which came with her adoption package, and we ended up getting an hour for free. It was awesome. Learned how to play games with her without having to reward her or get commands from her, just pure play with her. Learned some new tricks to help when I need her to do certain things, like putting her feet up on if I needed to put her feet up on something, then I got taught how to do that. So I need to do a trip to Walmart for that one because I need a little step thingy for her to get up on. But we did a lot of, helped her with the separation anxiety thing by telling her I'll be right back, and then walking out of the room and then waiting a few seconds and then coming back into the room and praising her. She was awesome. As I'm talking with the trainer, she would be laying down in a settled position. So it would be reward her for being in a good settle. Good settle. Or she'll come and she'll sit next to me, and so it's good sit, and give her a reward. So learning to give her lots of little bits of treats. So we've got these big treats, which I've cut down into like 5 small pieces. It happens to be a star-shaped treat, and so I just separate the points, and it comes out to 5 little pieces. So, but she did amazing, and the trainer actually told me that I was doing really, really good with Zephy, and she said I was a natural with training her. So I was like, oh, awesome. It's something that I really want to do. I really want to make sure that she's safe when we go out on the road, and in February, when we hit the roads in February for our big excursion. God, it seems to be growing, because I have to be in Orlando at the first weekend of March. And then after that, I was planning on doing this trip that would go up the East Coast, maybe across the top a little bit. And I'm going to be in Colorado Springs. So all my Colorado Springs people, I am coming in June. I don't know the dates yet, but I will be in Colorado Springs for at least 2 weeks, maybe a little longer. Maybe I'll come for the whole month. I don't know. I'm working on that. I'm figuring it out, which means I'm not going to get anywhere near California till around July or August. So it's this trip has just been like growing and growing and growing. So there's going to be a massive road trip next year. And then I'll probably come back to California for a month or 2 just to recuperate, and then I might take off again. I don't know. Who knows? But I know I have to be back. Have to be back for the end of August, because my oldest grandson will be starting school then, around the end of August, beginning of September. I don't know when they go back to school here, and then back for the second grandson's 2nd birthday. So that's September. So yeah, I'm probably going to be on the road from February through to August. Who knows? I don't know. It's all up in the air right now. I just know when I have to be in Orlando, and I have to work backwards on that one. So Zephy's doing really, really well with her training. And we got back, and the neighbor came over to borrow an ice pack and my CBD pain cream. And well, she said she had a sore back, so I offered her my gel pack, and so she went to take that, and then offered her the CBD pain cream, and so she took that with her as well to try that out. And Zephy, the whole time she was standing in here, and Zephy's like whining and wanting attention and jumping up on her. I said, just ignore her. I said, completely ignore her. Be boring. And so we did, and Zephy just sort of like, well, screw this. And so she just laid down there in a settled position. So I went, oh, good settle, and gave her a treat. And she's like, oh, this is pretty good. And the neighbor was sort of like, she could not believe that, because she's gotten to know Zephy very well over the last couple of weeks, 3 weeks that we've been here, however long we've been here. And she's always seeing her pulling and trying to get to people and all that. And she's like, oh my gosh, see, that's such a huge difference. And Zephy only had her first day of training yesterday, official training. We've been unofficially training her, but not on a consistent basis. But now that we're when we've got weekly training set up for her every Saturday. And we may even, I'm actually going to look at possibly doing private training between the other trainings as well, because there's other things that I need to make sure that Zephy can do, which we don't cover in the beginner's class. So I probably want to get some of the more the advanced techniques in there, especially being on the road a lot and being in different campgrounds. She needs to know that the RV is her safe space, but when we're in a new environment, that I still expect her to behave the same way. So probably going to be doing some private lessons for her in between the weekly sessions as well. But she did really good yesterday, and she's done really good today. And even back here, she's because we're in a different environment, she's starting to listen to me as well. So very, very proud of her. So on to movie reviews. 4 movies to review for you. 3 of them I watched last night. Yes, I did watch 3 last night. I did not get to bed till like around 12:30 this morning, but I was just wired last night. I said, I'm just going to watch another movie. And that movie finished, I'm going to watch another one. And then I was like, okay, I need to go to bed. So National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation was the first one up. So I did an early live yesterday so I could take Zephy for a walk, come back and watch that. So I got my little snack plate, as keto friendly as I could possibly get it. There was a little bit of sugar in there, but not enough to give me a sugar hangover this morning, which was awesome. Love waking up without those. It means I was good that day. So I think the sugar that I had was within my carb limits. I totally forgot to enter it into my carb manager app to see how I was going. So don't know. I didn't do the scales this morning. That's tomorrow morning. But anyway, so Christmas Vacation. This year is the 30th anniversary of National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. And rumor has it, I haven't confirmed this or anything else, but I have been hearing rumors that there are select movie theaters around that are playing playing Christmas Vacation as part of the 30th anniversary of it. Can you believe it's been 30 years since that movie came out? Oh my gosh, I've probably watched it most of those years because it's kind of a tradition. I'm trying to think if there's any year I did not watch it. I don't think I watched it the year Brad died. No, 2017, I did not watch it then. But I don't know about years before that if I watched it or not. So I've had the DVD a very long time. So I thoroughly enjoyed the movie, learned something new about the movie. It's been around for 30 years. The woman who played Aunt Bethany is a lady called, my little post-its, May Costell, and she, that was the last movie she ever made, was The Christmas Vacation. That was made in 1989, and she passed in 1998 at the age of 89. But she was the original voice of Betty Boop. Well, that was kind of cool because I never knew that. So I thought, oh, that's awesome. So she was the original Betty Boop. So if you want to know who the original Betty Boop was, just watch Aunt Bethany and Christmas Vacation. I love that movie. There's just so many great one-liners in that movie. So many it's just a good movie to sit down and have a good laugh at. It was awesome. And I watch it at least once a year at Christmas time. Sometimes I might, in the Christmas spirit, I might watch it twice. But most of the time I watch it once. But I always love that movie. And even though it's been a year since I've seen the movie, it still gives me laughs. It's been making me laugh for years, that movie. It's just a classic. It really is. So that was National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, 30th anniversary this year. Wow. Then I watched one which was not a Christmas movie, but I saw it on Netflix, and I had it in my list, and it kept showing up, and I thought, and it wasn't one of the ones I had to scroll to find. It was always there in like the first 4 or 5 movies that they have on the Netflix thing. And it was called Wishman, and it came out this year. And it's this story of Frank Shankwitz, who is the founder of Make-A-Wish Foundation. So it was his story, and it was just fascinating. I actually did get a chance to meet him in person a few years ago, and what an incredible human being. We didn't have a lot of time to talk, but we have talked on the phone a couple of times, and amazing guy, generous heart. His heart is just such a huge heart on him. And the story was really, really cool to get some of the background into who he is, or where he's come from to be who he is today. Great man. But what was really cool is that he was an Arizona highway patrolman on a motorcycle. And I thought it was kind of fitting that his sergeant was Robert Pine. And if you don't know who Robert Pine is, he played Sergeant Gatria on the program CHIPS, the California Highway Patrol. So he was Frank Shankwitz. He's the guy that played Frank Shankwitz Sergeant in the movie Wishman. And then they had this guy come in and sit down. And I'm like looking at this guy going, hang on, it's John Baker. And it was Larry Wilcox who played John Baker in Chips. And he was there, and he was the one that came to Robert Pine's character, the sergeant, and said, hey, we have this kid who is terminally ill. He just wants to spend a day with the cops. Can we make it happen? He's always wanted to be a highway patrolman. And so he was the one that came in. And so Larry Wilcox, who was John Baker, and then his boss, Sergeant Guthrie, were both on the movie. So it's kind of cool. But it was a really, really cool story, and such a heartbreaking childhood that he had. And the stuff that he overcame to still be the type of person that he is. It was incredible. It was amazing. So that was Wishman. So that was movie number 2. And then I thought, it's 10:30. Maybe I should go to bed. And I was like, yeah, no. So I went back to my thing and got Christmas Survival, which came out in 2018. And this is about 2 sisters whose parents had recently died, and one of the sisters had inherited the house, and they were converting it into a bed and breakfast. It is like run down, falling down. There's leaks all over the place. The stove's not working. It's a disaster. It's a disaster in the making. So there's kind of some funny moments in the movie, but it was kind of a drama. So it was a comedy drama type thing. And so one of the sisters had gone off to the United States and to be an actress and all of that, and she was married to the guy who was her agent. Yes, agent. And they had a couple of kids. They came over to spend Christmas with her sister in the house that they were raised in, which of course brought a lot of family dynamics and tension in there, because you had the star, the one who's always the star type of thing, and all this sort of carry on. And then there was one that was a half sister. Yeah, she was a half sister, or kind of a half sister. She was in there too, and it was just the family dynamics with everybody there, and the drama that came from it, and it was a really cool movie. It was cool. And then let's see, so there was the sister who lived in the house with her husband and their 3 children. They had a girl and then twin boys. The guy had a son from a previous relationship who lived in London. So this takes place in England, who lived in London. And just watching him go do last minute Christmas shopping was hilarious. Let's just say illegal parking and towing were involved. And that's when you kind of find out that he has a son, and who's into drugs and all that sort of thing. So he tries to help him, and talk about a dysfunctional family. I mean, everybody was out for their own, and nobody really cared what was going on, and it was a mess. And thankfully, Gobbles didn't get eaten. Gobbles was the turkey. I shouldn't have said that. I might spoil that moment. But it's just really cool. So they're looking at doing this bed and breakfast with their homegrown vegetables and all that sort of stuff, and making it organic and everything else. And the sister from America just didn't agree with any of that. And was, yes, it was an interesting movie. It was kind of cool. And then this afternoon, after we got back from training, I sat down and I thought, do I watch a movie or do I watch another episode of Father Brown? Enjoying Father Brown. He's a Catholic priest in some little town in England. I can't remember the name of the town. And he's kind of a little bit of a detective. And he gets up to all sorts of mischief. And he's got the busybody parish secretary who, she can keep a secret. Really? No. She cannot keep a secret. Although she tells people she can. I am the woman of discretion. And I'm like, yeah, right. And then you've got the you've got the lady, good grief, I've watched 4 seasons of this thing. Lady Felicity is the upper crust of this little town, and her driver Sid. And between the 4 of them, they get up to lots of mischief and mayhem in Father Brown. So I was either watch that or watch another movie. So I elected on another movie. And I ended up watching a movie called Pottersville, which is actually a kind of a Christmas movie. Well, it kind of is. It takes place on Christmas, around Christmas, so it's a Christmas movie. This one came out in 2017, and it has Ron Perlman in it, and Ron Perlman's been in many, many movies. He is, Houseboy, I think is that one. Yeah, Houseboy, the guy with all the red. I didn't like the movie, but Brad did. All in red with these little round thingies. They looked like chopped off horns or something on his head, or I think that's what it was. But anyway, I know him from watching Sons of Anarchy because he played the club president in that. So you had Ron Perlman. He played the sheriff in this movie, and his daughter, Blake Perlman, she played the deputy. So we had a father-daughter duo in this movie. And I have to say, the guy that played the, what would they call him? The monster hunter, who said he was from Australia. He had the worst Australian accent I have ever heard an American try and do. I didn't think the Australian accent was that difficult, but that was like the worst. And kept slipping in and out of his accent as too, because I ended up looking on IMDb to see who this guy was, and I think he was born in Illinois. So I was like, okay, that explains why his accent is so bad and why he keeps slipping out of it. But it had a really great quote in there that Maynard Grieger, who is the grocery store owner in this movie, so what's the movie about? So the movie is about a guy who, Maynard Grieger, who in a drunken state, because of events that had led him to this drunken state, he'd been on some of the moonshine, ended up dressing up like a gorilla and running around town. Well, the next thing he knows, everybody's claiming they've seen Bigfoot and Sasquatch and all this sort of stuff. So this whole little community of nothing that just lost the mill, so most of the people are unemployed and all that sort of stuff, all of a sudden are besieged by tourists coming in and wanting to find Bigfoot because there's been sightings of it. One of the deputies had, the sheriff's deputy had seen it, and all these respectable town people had seen the Sasquatch running around. And as they're talking about it, you see the main character, Maynard, having these flashbacks of things of like, oh my gosh, I did do that. I was drunk. I did do, he was blitzed on the moonshine when he dressed up as this gorilla thing and went running around town. But there's a whole story as to why he became that way, so you have to watch the movie to figure it out. But towards the end of the movie, he says this great quote, which I absolutely loved, and it said, "Hope isn't always the most realistic thing, but it tends to make the world a better place." I love that. So that's the movie Pottersville. It takes place around Christmas time, and I believe it's Christmas Eve when it takes place around Christmas time. Yeah. So that makes it a Christmas movie. It takes place around there. So those are the 4 movies I watched. 3 of them were last night. So National Lampoon's 30th anniversary Christmas Vacation was last night. Wishman, the story about Frank Shankwitz prior to starting Make-A-Wish Foundation up until when he does start the foundation, and Christmas Survival, and that was about the 2 sisters and their families coming together for Christmas in their old childhood house, which is rambling and falling down and in the middle of repair. And those were last night. And then Pottersville today is about this grocery owner who, while in a drunken rage, dresses up as a gorilla and goes running around town and gets mistaken for Bigfoot. So you can imagine there's a lot of hilarity in that as well, and some weird stuff, but each to their own is all I can say. So that's it from me for today. 4 great movies. 4 great movies. Great day for Zephy with her training. I'm now going to go walk her and see if I can get her to do a half decent walk around, because we did some a little bit of loose leash. Oh, jeepers, can't talk now. Loose leash training today. We touched on it a little bit, so we're going to see if I can take that and see how we do with that. But anyway, have a super fantastic sparkling evening. I will be back tomorrow with 1, maybe 2 movies. I don't know. It's Monday tomorrow. I have a lot of work to do tomorrow. I'll try and get an early night. That may not happen. But Zephy and I are enjoying our morning cuddles. So I get up in the morning, I come out because it's kind of cold, put the heater on, open her crate, then I go back to bed and snuggle down, and then she comes up and jumps on the bed with me and she snuggles down too. And so we lay there for like about half an hour to an hour while the RV heats up with the heater, and then we get up for the day. So we're usually up by around 7. Although today we didn't get up till 10. Didn't get up till 10 o'clock this morning. It was awesome. It was Sunday. It's day off. So it was rest and relaxation day. So how was your rest and relaxation day today? What Christmas movies are you watching? I'd love to hear what Christmas movies you're watching, what you think of them, and how was your R&R day today? So have a super fantastic sparkling evening, and we will catch you guys tomorrow. Hei konera.